Yo, what's happening guys, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be showcasing Golurk in the Open Great League. Shadow Golurk went absolutely crazy. The fast move pressure and the hard hitting charge moves in this Pokemon make it super fun to run. I actually am cherry picking a battle here to showcase that Golurk basically run through an entire team by itself. This Pokemon was super fun, not a super hard meta pick, but as you can see the opponent comes into a Drapion. They're already at 50% health by the time they get off the first move. We're just going to mud slap this thing the whole way down before the opponent even makes a second Aqua Tail. Golurk just putting in so much work. We give up 2 shields on the lead, but if the opponent is coming into a Drapion versus Golurk, they must be pretty weak to it. We roll out down with the Dunsparce here. The opponent comes into a Bastiodon, and ladies and gents, we're actually running Dynamic Punch on this Pokemon. The reason I want Dynamic Punch here is because I think Mandibuzz is going to be quite common. The reason I'm kind of a little bit off-put by some of the Mud Slappers is because they're so hard-walled by Mandy. Dynamic Punch does a lot of damage. So you're going to see a match later on in the video where I get Mandibuzz in the lead, swap out, get an energy lead with Golurk later in the match, and just basically do a ton of damage to the Mandy. By the way guys, today's video is going to be a slightly scuffed here. You'll see a few artifacting and stuff like that. My internet was playing up a little bit today, but as you can see, we get the shields with Dunsparce, we come in, we're using Roll-a-Hole. Big shout out to Daryl here, as you can see on screen currently at the minute, Daryl W. For that name for this team. Roll-a-Hole, double rollout, super strong. I showcased it in the Clefable video, as I mentioned in that video. A Ghost in the lead, Clefable itself, or something that is very good against counter users, will be very good with Roll-a-Hole. In the next battle here, the opponent stays into Chip, and they actually come into the Clodsire. Now, we've continued to use the Earthquake moveset on the Licky Licky. You guys seen this in yesterday's video. We do 50% to that, and that puts it in a very nice range for farm down. I'm thinking here, okay, they have a Shadow Jumpluff in the lead. Very, very bad matchup for the Golurk, but we're going to get a huge energy lead. I'm thinking here, Earthquake is going to hurt. Golurk cannot really take a hit. That's kind of the main problem with it. It's very, very glassy. They come back in with this, and you're about to see that this Shadow Punch with the buff is going to absolutely wreck it. Guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, do me a quick favour, drop a like on it. It really helps out the content, helps me grow the channel, and I want to say a big thank you. We hit 5,100 subs on the channel yesterday, shortly after hitting a 5k last week, so big thank you for all the support. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, subscribe, and in this match here, we do have the Feraligatr. I think I died to this move, so I decide I just need to get the opponent's final shield here, basically. We 1 and throw for good timing, and with the 50-second switch clock, we're basically able to swap out of here in a second. I'm going to do 1 and swap, just to make sure I'm 1 off the move. The opponent's basically forced to further move immediately, and with buffed rollout, we're actually able to roll out the whole way down on the Skater. We should be able to roll out down the Jumpluff, and that's going to be good games. Golurk has a lot of hard counters in the meta, but if you're able to swap out, for example this matchup right here, if you're able to swap out, go into one of your rollout users. By the way, Licky so spammy with the body slams, probably caught the opponent off guard, not expecting the move to come through so quickly. Basically what you want to do is get a huge farm down, Shadow Punch, or go for the Dynamic Punch, and whatever comes back in, and that can really set you up. Once again guys, you will notice some artifacting in the video throughout today. I will try to get my internet sorted out for tomorrow, so hopefully you guys don't mind that too much, but we'll have to sort of deal with it for today. I definitely think these battles are well worth showcasing. You're just going to see Golurk just run through teams. If the teams are not prepared correctly for Golurk, this Pokemon can just run through them. I decide to shield up the first Psycho Boost. I doubt they're going to go for a resisted Thunderbolt or resisted Rock Slide. Sometimes opponents will go for that move if it's a very desperate situation for them. I decided just to respect it this time. We do keep a lot of health in Golurk. Now the opponent can go for the move here. What I decide to do is not throw my charge attack. I want to get a huge Mud Slap down with the Golurk, and we'll see what's in the back. The opponent comes into a Lantern. Is this still manageable? Unfortunately, the opponent just about outpaces me here. We don't have any shields left, so maybe actually throwing the move with Dunsparce might have helped, although I was super low health, so I'm not too sure how much of a difference it would have made. Maybe I could have no shielded a Psycho Boost or played slightly differently, but good games to the opponent there. In the next match, we have a Bastiodon, a Shadow Bastiodon. These Mud Slaps are going to absolutely destroy it. The opponent's staying in, and they come into a Charge-a-Bug. We basically hardwall this Pokemon with Golurk, and once again guys, if the opponent's coming into a Charge-a-Bug with a Basti in the lead to Golurk, it probably means they only have one answer to it, or not a very good answer to it at all. So we're basically set up for a Golurk sweep already. I'm going to 1 and throw this Body Slam off right here, basically put it into rollout down range. Licky can still do a ton of damage on the other side. If the opponent reached the move, I would just let it go, put the Hope and Faith into Golurk, and the opponent comes into a Quagsire. We're going to go straight for the Earthquake here. This will do heavy damage, or sorry, a Swampert. I wasn't expecting to see that. We come in, go for the snipe of the Shadow Punch. The Shadow Punch will be landing for heavy damage. The opponent realizes that. We go for a 1 and throw in the next one. As you're about to see, this doesn't one-shot, but buff Shadow Punch does so much damage to that Shadow Swampert. I mean, obviously we're going to shield this move. We're going to absolutely obliterate the Bastiodon. We're going to farm down the Swampert. The opponent makes the swap. These mud slaps are hitting like nothing you've ever seen before in Bastidon. That's good games well played. And hopping into the next one, we have a Tentacruel lead. Once again, another fantastic lead for Golurk. We're going to start slapping the life out of this thing. The opponent stays in. I decide, okay, you're really weak to Golurk. I'm going to do a lot of damage. We've got it down to 50% after doing like 3 or 4 fast moves with Golurk. We bank the energy and we draw out the Machamp out of the back. Now, arguably, I should have been going for the big move here. The opponent can build up to 2 moves. You guys are going to see something pretty hilarious about this matchup with Golurk. You would think, okay, what a hard wall Golurk is to Machamp. I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe it's actually later on in the video, but where do you see them landing a Stone Edge? It's actually insane. I decided to shield for alignment in this case, because I just wanted to make sure that they don't have like a hard answer to Golurk on the back. If possible, I would like to keep the Golurk here. I do think that shield was a mistake. We don't quite make that last move. We come in with Dunsparce to absorb the energy, so I think that shield was basically pointless because I'm not coming into Golurk here, and the opponent brings in a Marowak. Is it still manageable? We have a lot of energy here. This Shadow Punch will definitely put it into farm down range. The opponent's moveset in Marowak will usually be Bone Club and most likely Rock Slide. It's 4-free to the Bone Clubs and it's 5-4 for the Rock Slide, so the opponent definitely can outpace. I just need to take this first move. Hope that I can just survive it pretty comfortably. We do survive it. I get off my move right away. I think the opponent could have won for a CMP tie there. They had a lot of energy. They do end up going down, trying to build up to back-to-back moves. That's basically their only way of winning this match. The opponent goes for a catch. Not really going to help out at this point. We go for the Rockside BM, and that's good games. So once again, another team that just didn't really have a great answer to Golurk. Well, here it is, folks. Here's Mandy. This is super rough for Golurk, of course. We come into this. I throw the Body Slam immediately, looking to misalign the Switch Clock. Try to give my Golurk a chance to get an energy lead on the other side. The opponent chips and dips here, by the looks of things, or they're going to stay in. If the opponent stays in, I'm super happy with this. They end up coming into a Quagsire, which is quite interesting. I believe it's going to take 2 moves to knock out no matter what, so I'm going to go for Body Slam first time and probably commit to the Earthquake the second time. Despite the nerf to Mudshot's energy generation, they are able to Mudshot us down a little bit faster. They go straight for the Stone Edge, which is kind of nice for me. That absorbs a lot of their energy, and what I'm thinking at this point is, shield once, farm this thing the whole way down. These Mudshots are doing insane damage, and I just want to see how much a Dynamic Punch does to Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, the opponent makes 2 moves. That could be kind of rough for me here. That could be just the thing that seals the match for me. I insta-throw the move, pretending I'm just like throwing some random move right. The opponent lets it go. It does a lot of damage. Not really enough to get it into a farm down range, and this is just kind of curtains for me. Yes, I can get off all these drill runs. The opponent just no-shields everything, puts the hope and faith into the Mandibuzz, and unfortunately, 2 moves from this will knock me out. GG's well played. Mandibuzz lead, of course, is always going to be rough. A little bit unfortunate, but one thing in this match that I really enjoyed is that Dynamic Punch gets that thing quite low. In the next match with Diggersby, this is not a good lead for Golurk in general. We do have the Dynamic Punch. The opponent probably thinks, okay, we live any one move here. I'm like, oh, this is rough. I kind of have to let this go. Surely I live this move. I won and throw for good timing on the Dynamic Punch. Please, opponents, do not respect this move. The opponent does not respect it. They get absolutely one-shot. They come into Azu. I bring in the Dunsparce, holding on to the Golurk for a potential catch later on in the match. We have 2 Pokemon with very similar coverage. No reason to let my opponent get extra energy here. And of course, with the 50-second switch time, we basically have a lot more license to play a lot more dynamically. We don't necessarily have to stay in and let the opponent farm us down. Worst case scenario, the opponent brings in a different Pokemon, we fight that out for a while, and then we can switch back out again. It's not super horrible, especially when you're using Pokemon with similar coverage. The opponent's shielding here, so I'm like, right, okay. Probably I should keep some health on this Pokemon here. They're definitely weak to rock or ground. I'm thinking perhaps it could be Clodsire. I bring in the Licky Licky. The opponent brings in a Dunsparce. Definitely super weak to rollout. As I said in the video yesterday, double rollout, roll hole, as Darryl calls it, is definitely very strong in this meta. I think roll hole is going to be super common. As we get some artifacting here, the opponent goes for a discharge. You definitely always want to go for X-Scissor in neutral situations. The opponent actually lets that move go. I think the opponent's only hope was to basically try to do something with their Charge Bug. I try to snipe it with the Golurk just because I don't quite make it. We get off a Body Slam on 1 HP. The opponent's not ready to give up here. They put up the shield, but we do knock them out with 1 HP for the shield, and that's good games. Once again, guys, pretty Nightmare lead. We come into the Licky Licky. I throw the move right away. That puts the opponent on 11 Dragon Breaths. I believe the opponent throws their move immediately here, and we do get the free rollout. It's 14 for the Superpower. I'm like, you know what? Superpower me, daddy. I've played this opponent a few times, and they do love a good bait. They come into Registeel. Really interesting swap in here. Wasn't expecting to see Registeel, but like my eyes are lighting up right now. We do actually make it to a last second Earthquake as well, and the thing about Golurk is we absolutely wall this moveset. Focus Blast and Zap Cannon, both double resisted. I'm like, you know what, bro? I'll take whatever you want to throw. They go for the Flash Cannon! It almost one-shots the Golurk. I still get the farm down, thankfully, and the clocks are so misaligned that I can basically get off this one move here, run to the Dunsparce, and basically try to sweep the game from here. Once again, guys, a little bit of artifacting here. I do apologize for that. I'm going to put down my switch clock because I'm still locked here. The opponent actually ends up throwing on pretty bad timing. Dunsparce rollout is a little bit delayed, so it is quite hard to throw in good timing on this Pokemon. I try to go for a catch. No matter what, guys, the opponent was always going to get this move off. So going for the catch didn't really affect anything. The opponent comes into a Jellicent. This is going to be really close. Basically, I resist all the fast moves, right? I need to be able to survive 2 surfs to win this match, I believe. I need to make it to 3 drill runs. That's basically the win con in this match. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible here. The opponent's building up to back-to-back surfs. We end up CMPing on the first surf here. Let's have a look to see how much damage this is going to do. Oh, it does more than 50% of my running health. I need this move to knock out. If this move doesn't knock out, we lose. Thankfully, it is just about enough. I think that was super close. Good games all played there. Very interesting with Flash Cannon Reggie. And in the next battle, we have a pretty decent lead. The opponent comes into a Gator. I decide to stay in to get a chip here. For Alligator, safe swap up energy is just such a pain. At the very least, most of the time, you might want to get a shield off the opponent. And the opponent insta-froze, which is perfect, meaning that I can throw in free for good timing here. By the looks of things, we do survive 2 of these moves, just about. I've got a very high rank Licky here. We're going to go for the Body Slam. That does take the opponent out, and they do let it go, which is great. They come into Dunsparce. Once again, I survive any one move. We're in a very fine position here. I can look to basically full send the Earthquake. So I'm actually just looking on PV Poke here. I'm a bit of a PV Poke Andy, if you will. And I'm actually realizing something about Licky, right? So Body Slam, including Stab, it's 35 energy, 60 damage. Earthquake is 65 energy, 110 damage. So if you're looking to get off 2 moves, if you're able to get off 2 Body Slams, go for 2 Body Slams. However, I thought at the time the opponent would not allow me to get that off. So basically the damage per energy is 1.71 for Body Slam and 1.69 for Earthquake. It is more efficient to go for Body Slam, definitely, but Earthquake does not quite twice the amount of damage. But if you're only able to get off 1 dying move, definitely just go for the Earthquake, obviously. We fire off the Stroller Run, this will get the opponent quite low. Basically what I need to do is force the energy here. This is super weak to Azu, I'm not really too worried about keeping it alive. I'll absorb the energy here, commit to the farm down, and basically the opponent's dry on the Azu. They're going to be 5 off the next Ice Beam, so I need to basically outpace the free moves. One drill run, is not going to knock out the Azu. I shield this move to try and preserve some health, make sure I don't get bubbled down, and we basically have 2 moves already. Now, to my surprise, Azu wins CMP against this thing, which is kind of crazy. I never would have anticipated that. The opponent's at the Ice Beam. The only way we win this match is by getting a catch on the Licky. We do get the catch. This is absolutely huge. I hope you guys were able to actually see that. I know it's a little bit laggy here. We get off a drill run, and that should be basically GG's. So the opponent possibly could have prevented that by pausing a turn, or doing one more bubble, because they do win CMP, so GG's to them. In the next match, we have a Clodsire lead. This is absolutely what you love to see. This opponent's on Mudshot for some reason, which is definitely quite unusual for this season. You definitely want to run Poison Sting in most cases. They go for the big Earthquake here, and they come into a Medicham. Quite interesting. The opponent dumps energy, comes into Medicham. They definitely could have just came straight in here. This is a very horrible matchup for Dunsparce. We will get off a couple of drill runs here. You guys might not be able to see everything, but we're trying our best here, folks. We're trying our best. We don't quite make it to this last move. I do have a move banked on the Golurk. I decided to fire it off straight away, just because I don't want the opponent to get off Ice Punches or anything here. I'm kind of surprised the opponent did not go for a shield. They're coming with Clodsire once again, and could this be just sweeping an entire match again? What does the opponent come into? They come into a Girafarig. We have so much energy. This move is single resisted, but Golurk and Girafarig don't know the meaning of resisted. If this goes through, this might actually put them into Mudslap downrange. The opponent lets it go, does a lot of damage. And once again, guys, Golurk with the 1v3, you absolutely love to see it. In the next battle, horrible lead. We come into the Licky, they come into the Machamp. I mean, this is looking pretty RPS so far. The opponent can easily take one of these moves, so I do wonder if I should be threatening the big move or not. I need to sort of look up this matchup a little bit better. Can Licky just take a cross chop and make it to an Earthquake? I think that would be the most desirable result here. That cross chop does so much damage, so by the looks of things, probably not. And guys, you're about to see that Stone Edge absolutely destroys the Golurk. That's done about 70%, that's absolutely crazy. They come back in with this again, bring in the Clodsire. So I'm thinking here now, okay, I might have a chance. We have super effective damage. We have a Jumpluff, which of course receives super effective damage from Dunsparce. Dunsparce is fantastic at breaking up teams this season. Fantastic coverage, great fast move pressure now, great charge moves. I do sort of think it's a shame that Rock Slide was nerfed. I think with like a really good rock move, this thing would be insane. Maybe if it got Power Gem or something like that. The opponent full sends the Earthquake. I come in here because the clocks are slightly misaligned. They bring in the Jumpluff, and unfortunately, I think that's going to seal it for me. The jump off will just get too far ahead in energy. I do get off another Shadow Punch here, and I'm going to try to commit to a third one. If I can get off a third one, which obviously I can't, I'm just super low. We could have been fine there. We go for the extra move, thinking the opponent's going to throw right away. The opponent goes for acrobatics. Okay, they need 2 moves no matter what, so probably they should be going double energy ball. I'm just hoping and praying, please, can I make it to this next move here in time? Unfortunately, the opponent just IPSs me, and yeah, that's GG's. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about Golurk, as we get a pretty horrible lead in the next game? Do you think it's good? What do you think about Mud Slap? Do you think that it's overpowered? Do you think it's just right? And are you happy that it's the new ground move of choice compared to Mud Shot? Definitely a lot more fast move pressure and very decent energy generation. However, the Pokemon that know this move aren't quite as overpowered as things like Whiscash. The opponent doesn't have an answer to Dunsparce, which is quite lucky, and we're going to look to stay in this match. By the way, I went super positive with this team. It's not like an amazing climbing team or anything like that, it definitely has some weaknesses, but it's definitely a very fun and good team. Dunsparce just done so much work here, and I'm thinking, can I just Mud Slap down? Bang, we do get the Mud Slap down, which is perfect. The opponent comes into a Talonflame right here. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Punch here, just to basically get off a ton of damage. We swap right out here into the rollout user. The opponent says into Chip. I decide here, we want to keep this alive. The switch clocks are misaligned. Let's keep this alive, see what we can do. The opponent comes into a Primarina. I'm not messing about here. I can definitely make it to 2 Earthquakes. I'm going to full send this. It'll do a ton of damage. Once again, guys, it's probably a lot more efficient to go straight for Body Slam in situations like this, because 2 Body Slams probably would have knocked it out, so that's kind of like a slight mistake that I'm making here. Just for curiosity, Shadow Ball is actually 1.82 damage per energy, so it's actually the most efficient move, aside from Solar Beam and Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam Licky could be really, really fun, actually. But yeah, the opponent's in a very bad position. I don't know if a Resisted Earthquake does more, but I'm assuming that it probably does. So I go for the Earthquake in this situation. That's going to be good games well played. We'll roll out the opponent down here. We do actually Mud Slap it down. But thanks everybody for watching. Golurk is super fun in the Great League. It's definitely quite glassy. Definitely needs shields. But in this current meta, it's just working so well. And like I said, guys, as you're seeing from this game, Golurk, if you can get an energy advantage with the buff Shadow Punch, with the Dynamic Punch for things like Mandibuzz, can definitely do just a lot of work. I'm a big fan of this Pokemon, big fan of this buff, and I think more fun buffs like this are really what's going to help out in the Great League. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you've not yet done so. If you're interested, join our community in Discord where people stream, discuss PvP and other aspects in Pokemon Go. Very, very good place for improving, I highly recommend it. Last but not least, and most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.